Hey everyone, welcome to Relatively Refined. My name is Paula. In today's video, I'm going to take you out in search of some Valentine's Day inspiration. It's a beautiful sunny day and I'm in the mood for pink. We're going to come home and do a little bit of baking, and then we'll set the table for a beautiful afternoon tea and sweet treat. One of my favorite things to do on a relaxing day. And then finally, we'll finish up the video with a discussion about my latest reads. I know many of you really enjoy these book chats. All right, let's get started. I head out, I want to thank our friends at Teddy Blake for gifting me this beautiful bag to review and let them know, and to share a good discount code with our viewers. So it's the beautiful Dana Duo 11-inch. The Dana Duo, which I'm showing you here, is my second Teddy Blake handbag. I absolutely love my Ava 11-inch navy blue bag, and this bag is spectacular. This Dana Duo, it's small in size. It's perfect for a date night, a night out on the town. It's elegant, but small in size, fits your phone, your wallet, your keys, your glasses, all of the essentials. It has that beautiful gold-toned clasp, and the handles of the handbag fit perfectly over your shoulder, and it tucks right under your arm, so you can carry it close, or you can just carry it by the handles themselves. I really recommend this company. The workmanship of the Teddy Blake bags is second to none. It's very high end. They use only the finest Italian leathers. And while they are an investment, the price point is significantly lower than other luxury handbag companies. If you are in the market for a new handbag, they're having a fantastic sale right now. And in addition, if you use the code TB Relatively Refined 10, you'll get an additional 10% off your purchase. I will leave all of the details in the description box. Once again, thank you to Teddy Blake for working with me on this part of the video. And now, let's head out for some spring and Valentine's Day inspiration. Well, we're starting out my search for inspiration at one of my favorite places, the French Mercantile. And if you've been with the channel for a while, you know that I love to go there for inspiration in all seasons. They never disappoint, and the displays are eye candy. They had some gorgeous pink peonies and hydrangeas. These are made out of almost like a paper. I can't describe it. They're really, really beautiful and very high quality. And I just wandered around and soaked in the gorgeous pinks and sun-washed beiges and romantic feelings that you get when you're in that French Mercantile. I thought this little stoneware flower frog was very unique. I'd never seen one like it, and I thought it was just a really fun little item. What a great gift to give somebody. Fill it with water, put in a few beautiful spring stems, and give that as a little love gift. Here are some tart pans in the shape of hearts and these beautiful tea towels. I love to change out tea towels and dish towels in my kitchen at the change of the seasons. It's a very inexpensive but effective way to reflect the current season in your home. I have all different kinds of tea towels and love to collect them. And I think my sister Patty and Kathleen would agree, as would my mom. We are all about pretty linens. I thought that beautiful display of white ironstone on that gorgeous piece of furniture is spectacular. I've always wanted to have a Welsh cupboard or a scrubbed pine hutch and collect just beautiful white ceramic pitchers in all different shapes and sizes and display them on a shelf all gathered together. I think that's such a pretty look. I couldn't help myself. I had to pull out these tea towels and get a closer look. I love the pink and green color combination. I was very, very inspired by those two colors, and you will see that later on in the video that those colors really hit home with me, and I took those and translated those into my tea table tablescape. And here's a little book that was right up my alley, Tea with Jane Austen. What a fun book. Now, I did not bring that home with me, but I am going to let my kids know that that would make a really perfect Mother's Day gift for me. Here's another gorgeous book, Afternoon Tea at Home. Any of these would be very nice Mother's Day gifts. And the French Mercantile always has an ample supply of blue and white items, which are some of my favorite things. If you hear snoring in the background, it's not someone who lives with you. It's my dog, Phoebe. She always snores when I'm doing a voiceover. It's just part of life here at our house. I thought these little metal ducks were very cute. They were actually very heavy, and you could use them as, a paperweight or, just simply decor. They were really, really cute. I loved them. I also really liked that little doorknob that was turned into a letter holder. I don't know that you could see it very well in that shot, and I don't know if I got another clip of it, but it was something I kind of put in the back of my mind. There it is right there, actually, by the little metal duck. It's something that I was thinking about would be a fun DIY project. You could probably find those doorknobs in a vintage or antique shop, and then you could form the wire into that flower shape to hold a postcard or a picture. Even a place card at a table setting would be so pretty. That urn with those flowers, the hydrangea, was gorgeous. All right, now I'm going to show you what was my inspiration for my tea table. These beautiful pink, green, and white flowers. I picked these up while I was out at my local Publix, and I just love that color combination. Those were the same colors that were in those little tea towels that I saw at the French Mercantile, and I think that color combination is so beautiful and so very spring-like. So I decided that what I would do is to translate those colors into my tea time tablescape. So I went around my house and I gathered up all of the items that I had that kind of fit that color scheme. The first and most beautiful item, of course, was the gorgeous tea set or teapot creamer and sugar that my mom gave me last year. It is absolutely stunning, and you can see it there at the bottom of the screen. And the colors from the flowers just match perfectly with the colors in that beautiful teapot. And of course I brought in my jadeite. I love jadeite, so anytime I can bring that out and use it, I do. And then I went around and I found any kind of floral plates that I had on hand in pinks and greens. These little tiny butter pats are darling with the gold edging. I thought they would make perfect little spoon rests to put your teaspoon on. And there you can see the cream and sugar in that beautiful pattern. I think it's Rose Famille is how you say it, and it is from Williams-Sonoma. And there's the teapot. And of course it has little bees on it, which I love. Here's another look at those flowers. And by the way, most of the items on this table I have found at thrift stores and vintage stores. That's a little Limoges plate with violets, and you'll recognize the tablecloth as one that I thrifted recently and showed in a previous video. The candelabra, the glass candelabra, is something that I've thrifted, as is the beautiful crystal vase that these flowers are in. And you will remember that from a previous haul as well. I think that pink, green, and white is something that you can take right from February on through to summer. And then once summer hits, I like to bring out my blue and whites and maybe mix in a little bit of pink or yellow. There's a closer look at that lovely tablecloth. It's a very small little square tablecloth, so I think I may end up layering it over another tablecloth, but it was too perfect not to use for a Valentine's Day tea party. There's a look at that vase. And then for the teacups, I'm going to use my green and white transferware teacups. And as I mentioned, I do love jadeite. So any chance I get, I like to bring that in. And here are some beautiful lotus flower jadeite plates. I have 4 of them and 4 little lotus flower bowls that go with them. And I got those at a charity thrift shop about 2 years ago, and I absolutely love them. Now, I did pay up for them, but I'm 100% glad that I did, because if I had left them behind, I would have regretted it. I did actually leave them behind, and I did a video about it, and several people said, go back and get the jadeite. So I did. All of these colors just make me so happy. It's been really cold here in South Carolina. In fact, we got several inches of snow, which is almost unheard of. We had to do e-learning from school for several days, but today it was beautiful and 70 degrees and sunny and absolutely a perfect day to bring out all of my spring items. I just was so inspired by the sunshine and the warmth after all of the cold. I know many of you are still cold, so hopefully this just gives you a little taste of spring. All right, let's head into the kitchen and do some baking. Well, the first thing I'm going to bake are some scones. Your traditional tea time menu includes a savory course like sandwiches, scones, and then some kind of a sweet or dessert type of item. Today, I'm just going to be making scones and some really beautiful little cookies. Someday maybe we'll do the full tea time menu, but today just scones and cookies. The scones I'm making, I'm actually going to cut them out into little heart shapes. I will have the recipe for these scones linked in the description box. They were very easy. There you see me flinging the butter. We were laughing so hard when I did that. But you start out with your dry ingredients and you add in your butter, which is cut into little small pieces and it's very cold, and then you kind of crumble it up the way you would maybe like when you're starting a pie crust. And then I'm adding in the liquid ingredients, which includes some heavy cream, some vanilla, and a little bit of that red food coloring, just to give them a fun pink color. And then I'm going to combine the liquid ingredients with the dry ingredients and stir them up until they just come together. The key to making good scones is to not overmix the dough. You're going to be tempted to do that, but you just kind of have to refrain from doing it. So you just stir it until it all comes together. You can, of course, make this in a stand mixer, which I have, but I opted just to do it in a bowl because crumbling the dough together at first, I like to do it with my impeccably clean hands. All right, so here you see I've gotten the dough together, and I'm just going to bring it together into a circle and then roll it out until it is about 3/4 of an inch thick. Maybe about a half an inch, I would say. And I just rolled it into a circle and then got my heart-shaped cookie cutter. You can, of course, use a biscuit cutter if you don't have something that's heart-shaped. And then I just cut them out. Another tip for making scones is not to twist the cookie cutter. Now, you're not so tempted to twist it when it's a shape like a heart, but with a round one, you don't want to twist it. You want to press straight down and pull straight up. And the reason for that is if you twist it, it kind of tightens the dough and they don't puff up as much as you want them to. So then I baked them at 350 degrees for about 18 minutes, and this is how they turned out. Really beautiful. And this is what they look like on that lovely Limoges plate on my tea table. I'm also making some heart-shaped Linzer cookies, or Linzer tart cookies. They're actually round, but with that heart cut out. These are so good. So you baked the cookies in two parts. I baked the base, which is just the solid circle, and then I baked the top, which was the circle with the heart cut out. You add the powdered sugar to the tops once they've completely cooled, and then to the bottoms, I'm adding some seedless raspberry jam, which I heated up on the stove, reduced, and let cool, and then I'm just spreading it on. And again, I will have this recipe linked in the description box below. So once you've spread the bases with the jam, you just top it with the powdered sugar covered tops, and they look so beautiful, as you just saw. And now here is what my table looks like all set up. I think it came out so pretty. In fact, my daughter Neve said that in her opinion, it was the prettiest tablescape that I've done. She loved all of those colors, as do I. And so what I did was I layered my jadeite lotus blossom plate on top of a pink and white underplate. And then I used my green and white transferware teacups, a vintage silver-plated teaspoon, those lovely pale green napkins that I thrifted recently, and my little butter pat as a spoon rest. And then you can see I have my lovely tea set from Mom. That is just such a stunner. It really takes center stage on that table, doesn't it? And of course, that beautiful glass candelabra and the flowers, which were my inspiration. Actually, the inspiration started at the French Mercantile in the tea towels, but then I saw those flowers at Publix and I thought, I am going to run with this color scheme. I absolutely love it. Here's a close-up of those little butter pats. And they are so cute butter pats are becoming increasingly hard to find, apparently. I found these a little while ago thrifting, and I've got a little stack of them. I thought they were so darling. And just overall, I think that is such a romantic tablescape with the pinks and the greens and the whites. So pretty for Valentine's Day, or really for spring. I mean, it would make a beautiful Easter setting as well. All right, so let's pot up our tea and head on over to enjoy some sweet treats. I'm making some Charleston breakfast tea that I got from the Charleston Tea Plantation, and I've got my cookies and scones out on the table, all plated up and ready to dig into, and I'm hoping that you will join me for a spot of tea and a couple of delicious sweet treats. And if you're enjoying this video and you would enjoy content like this, go ahead and give it a thumbs up, leave us a comment, and share it with a friend. We so appreciate you. We are really trying to grow our channel. We enjoy making these videos and would love to be able to get to 10,000 or even 15,000 subscribers. So hit that subscribe button if you haven't. Well, I am so glad that you could join me for this little Valentine's Day tea party. And I am excited also to share with you my 3 latest library books that I'm currently reading. I know that tea and books is a favorite of mine and of many of you. So first things first, let's give our heart-shaped scones a taste. I love a good scone. And washing it down with some Charleston Tea Plantation tea, delicious. So I will make sure that the recipes for these scones and for the Linzer heart cookies, which I'm actually going to take a little taste of too. Those are so good. When I was younger, I lived in Manchester. There used to be a place called Mother Myrick's that had cookies and tarts and treats and different things. And they sold these there. And those taste just how I remember them. So delicious. So let's get on to our book discussion, shall we? All right, I went to the library the other day and I selected 3 books. The one I am currently reading is called Mastering the Art of French Murder. It is by Colleen Cambridge, and the main character in it is Tabitha Knight. She is an American who had a French mother and grandmother and then relocated to France after her grandmother died, who was her primary guardian. And she happens to be best friends with Julia Child, who lives there with her husband, Paul. And it is such a good book. I'm really, really enjoying this. Let me read you the little description. It says, as Paris rediscovers its joie de vivre, Tabitha Knight, recently arrived from Detroit for an extended stay with her French grandfather, is on her own journey of discovery in the City of Light. But Paris isn't just the City of Light, it's a city of history, romance, stunning architecture, and food. Thanks to her neighbor and friend, Julia Child, another expat who's fallen head over heels for Paris, Tabitha is learning how to cook for her grandpère and Uncle Rafe. Well, anyway, the book goes on, and basically what happens is that Julia Child's sister Dorothy, who lives with she and her husband Paul in France, has a party, and one of the party goers winds up dead. And of course, the murder weapon is a knife from Julia Child's own kitchen. So she and Tabitha become suspects. And in order to save themselves, they start to investigate the murder. And it's just wonderful. I love anything set in Paris or France. I'm a huge Francophile in addition to an Anglophile. So this is so fun. And I, in particular, love that it has a lot of cooking references in it. So I'm really happy to be reading this.
And just as an aside, one of the things on my thrift list is actually volumes 1 and 2 of Mastering the Art of French Cooking by Julia Child. I would love to find those 2 cookbooks, volume 1 and 2. The other books that I got, the second one is called A 3-Book Problem, and this is by Vicki Delaney, and it's a Sherlock Holmes bookshop mystery. Now, what could be better than Sherlock Holmes bookshop and cozy mystery? Not much, in my opinion, except for possibly one set in France with a lot of cooking in it. So this one stars Gemma Doyle as the investigator. It says, it's crisp early October weekend and business is slowing down as fall descends on the Sherlock Holmes bookshop and emporium, adjacent to Mrs. Hudson's tea room. Wealthy philanthropist and prominent Sherlockian David Masterson has rented Suffolk Gardens house where he plans to entertain his friends in a traditional English country house weekend. And of course, those plans go awry when someone ends up dead. So I haven't read this, but I will definitely report back to you on this book once I finish it. And the third book is by Rhys Bowen. It's called 4 Funerals and Maybe a Wedding. And I love Rhys Bowen. This is a Royal Spinous mystery starring Lady Georgiana Rannoch. And the premise of this is that she is about to marry her fiance and they are house hunting, and that becomes a very difficult affair. But eventually her godfather, who owns a big estate in England, offers them the opportunity to live at this estate, and she will become the mistress of Ainsley. Well, anyway, of course, as is wont to do in a cozy mystery, someone ends up dead and she ends up investigating it. So I've read several other Rhys Bowen books and I've always enjoyed them. So I've no doubt that this will be no exception, and I'm very excited to be reading this in the near future. All right, so these are my 3 books that I'm currently reading. I'd love to hear from you what books you are reading. I'm also wondering if it might be fun to sometime do a book club kind of a video series where we pick a book to read and then we can have a book club discussion. You know, I can talk about my thoughts and feelings and you can post in the comments, or you can send in your comments and I can read them. I'm not sure exactly how we would work it all out, but I think it would be something fun to try. So if you have any ideas for how we can make that happen, go ahead and leave a comment for me. I would really be excited to do something like that. All right, well, I am going to finish my scone and cookie, drink my tea, and settle down and read my Mastering the Art of French Murder cozy mystery book. I want to thank you for joining me today. I hope that you will take the time to make some little afternoon tea special for yourself. You don't have to have somebody to enjoy it with. Sometimes it's just enough to enjoy it with yourself. And enjoying those little moments is really what makes life special. All right, everybody, that's it for today, and I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.
Thanks so much for taking time out of your day to spend it with me. I truly appreciate it. I hope you are all doing well, and I wish you all a very happy Valentine's Day. All right, everyone, take care, and I will see you soon. Bye-bye.